Hey guys, and welcome to Games I Bought Recently, episode 8. So in this episode, I've got tons of games. I was supposed to hold off because of the release for the PS4, I needed some money for that, but I couldn't help myself. I had to get a bunch of stuff. Only a couple new releases, but some games for systems that I've never owned games for, and some, some landmark titles, and some really great games here for some of my favourite systems. So let's get started. So let's start off with some retro goodness, some PS1 games. I picked up Crash Bandicoot 2. In my last video I showed up that I picked up Crash Bandicoot 1. And I went on, after playing through that, I figured, I really want to go through a Crash Bandicoot marathon. I got on a really big Crash Bandicoot kick, so I'm now going back and buying all of the Crash Bandicoot games, even the newer, like 360 era ones that, probably aren't as good. But still, I'm going to try and 100% every Crash Bandicoot game. I did that for the first one, and then I picked up this one. And Crash Bandicoot 2 is like, in every way, an improvement over the first Crash Bandicoot game. The controls are much better, like you can slide and jump now, and you don't like run off the edge by accident, like I found that I did a lot on the first one. The layout and the gameplay is much better. Instead of just completing levels and collecting gems by destroying all the boxes, and not dying in a level, which is really hard. The first Crash Bandicoot game is really hard. In this, all you got to do is destroy all the boxes, and you can collect crystals in the levels, and it's a much better layout, and I really love it. Really like the second Crash Bandicoot game. I did think this was my favourite, but then I went ahead and picked up the third Crash Bandicoot game, Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, and realised actually this is the better game, and I did change my mind a bit. This is actually my favourite. This just tightened up the controls, made them super slick. It added in some cool new levels like the motorbike levels and stuff like that. All the bosses are great. You can play as Coco for the first time in this game, and they added in the relics, which is just time trials. Crash Bandicoot 3 is an excellent game, one of my favourite platformers. I highly recommend the Crash Bandicoot series. If you haven't checked them out, definitely check out the PlayStation 1 trilogy. It's one of the best trilogies, like in some old games. Really fun Crash Bandicoot games are. Excellent platformers, I definitely recommend them. Next I picked up a game called Oddworld Abe's Exodus, which is the sequel to Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. That's kind of confusing. I haven't played, I have played the first one. I don't own the first one. I played the first one quite extensively. I played a demo, I should say. Not very extensively, I played a demo when I was a kid, and it scared the hell out of me. This character, Abe, just scared the hell out of me as a child. I don't know why, but I really couldn't play much of the game because he just scared me. A couple years back I played through the first game a bit more, and basically all these games are that they're sort of platformers, but they're kind of like Metroidvania in a way, but you have to go around this whole facility and find all your friends. Abe's a worker at this facility, and all his friends are being like punished, so he's got to go around and find them all. And you can accidentally kill them, and then your completion percentage at the end of the game will be different. You get a different ending depending on how many you capture. And the game's funny as well, like some of the calls he does for the aliens and some of the ways they can die. It's pretty funny. Really good game, really challenging. I haven't played this one too much. I know it improved on a few things, like you can control the other creatures a bit better. He's got better ways to talk, so you can lead him. There's a more improved leading system. It's not just like follow me and stuff. You can actually get him to work and do stuff for you. So this one's probably the better of the two. So one day I'll have to go back and play more of this. But this is a great series. The Oddworld games are great, and they're making a HD remake of the first one on the PS4, Wii U, and maybe Xbox One. I'm not sure about Xbox One, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. That's going to be great. And last for PS1 for now is Dino Crisis. I got this really cheap because on eBay I was just searching through games and they accidentally spelt this Dino Crisis, so no one else bid, and I got it for like £1, which is really cool. Basically what this is made by Capcom. If you haven't heard of this, it's pretty much Resident Evil with dinosaurs, and it literally is that. Like the controls are the same, it's tank controls, the graphics are the same, the gameplay is all the same, like there's puzzles and stuff like that, and it's a lot of fun. It's still survival horror. It's still pretty scary, like when the dinosaurs pop out and everything. And it's definitely more like survival. You get like no ammo. But the problem is the dinosaurs take like a whole round of your pistol, or a whole round of your pistol in order to kill them. And so there's not a lot of point in actually killing the dinosaurs, because then you just run out of ammo. So combat's not too great in this, but besides that, the game's really fun. Great atmosphere, good characters, you know, cheesy voice acting like Resident Evil. If you like Resident Evil, check out Dino Crisis. Absolutely great game. Next up, I got one Nintendo 64 game, and that is Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie is a really excellent platform and one of my favourites. As a kid, I played it a little bit and really enjoyed the little bit I played, but I kind of got stuck and didn't push myself to play through it more. But now I've played for a bit more. I played for a bit more on the Xbox Live Arcade, and I played a little bit of this one as well. The Banjo-Kazooie, the first one, is really great. It's like Super Mario 64. Except it's not just going around collecting stars. You have loads of different levels, and you have to collect jiggies in each level, and you can also collect musical notes and stuff. It's a huge collectathon, this game, and it's a whole lot of fun. The mechanics are great, the characters are great. Banjo-Kazooie are really funny, and all the other characters like Gruntilda and stuff. It's a really fun game, really great graphics, one of the best 3D platformers for its time. And it's just huge. There's so much to do. It will take you ages to find everything in this game. So yeah, again, if you're a fan of 3D platformers, you've got to check out Banjo-Kazooie. It's an excellent game. I'm going to play through it a lot more and actually complete it this time. And I'd like to check out its sequel, Banjo 2, on Nintendo 64, which I think is a little bit more expensive. This is actually really cheap. So if you're into platformers, then definitely check out Banjo-Kazooie. You can even get it on the Xbox Live Arcade. Probably around the same price. But if you don't have a Nintendo 64, then I definitely recommend that version as well. Anyway, you can play it. Play Banjo-Kazooie, it's really fun. Next up, for PSP, I got Metal Gear Acid 2. Now, I played the first Metal Gear Acid, and basically what these are like turn-based strategy games using cards, and you use cards in order to move your character. Who plays one character, Snake. You use the cards to move them, and to attack, and to do, like, to hide and everything. It's like a stealth-based strategy tactics, turn-based game. It's a whole mashup of genres, and it's a lot of fun. It's set in an alternative universe to the other Metal Gear Solid games, so it's not part of the same story at all. The story is not really great in these games either, but the gameplay is a whole lot of fun. I haven't played too much of this game, but it's pretty much the same. You play as a different Snake, and the graphics is sort of a little bit different, a little cel-shaded. Actually, funny thing about this game is that they come with these 3D glasses, which I haven't opened yet, but I'll open them now and see what they're like. Okay, so the setup for this is really weird. They're not like regular 3D glasses. You get this little cardboard thing that you can turn into a box, and then you place your PSP under the box, and you have to put the goggles up to your eyes and look through in order to see stuff in 3D. Right, I haven't checked this out yet because I haven't played the game so much, but if you're playing this in public, you're going to look a little bit weird. You're going to look like you're spying on someone or something. Yeah, this is completely bizarre. But I was happy to get this game because, like, complete with the glasses and everything, because I only got it for £1 at a second-hand store, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, the gameplay is very similar to the first Metal Gear Acid game, so one of these days I'll get around to checking this one out because I really enjoyed the first one. And next up, I picked up MotorStorm for the PS3, one of Sony's essential exclusives for when the PS3 first came out. And you know, looking at it now, it's pretty much just a simple 3D racing game with dirt bikes and dune buggies and stuff. I played Pure on the Xbox 360 and I got pretty good at that, but then I haven't played that in a while and I come back to this and I pretty much suck at this game. So the graphics are nice, and it definitely did a good job of showing off the PS3's capabilities when it came out. It's pretty fun, so if you're a fan of these games, you might want to check it out. It's not bad. For Xbox 360, I picked up Halo 3 ODST, and this is probably the worst Halo game. And I've played through it a few times now, because I played through it first when my brother got it on release date. We played through it co-op, then I played through it again for achievements. I played through it again because we were doing a Halo run-through of all the games in chronological order. And every time I play through this game, I'm like, oh god, Halo 3 ODST. The story doesn't hold up. There's not much to it. The characters, I'm not really even sure who they are. I'm not really sure how the story links in with the other Halo games very much. It's set before 3, and I think during the events of 2 or something like that. But still, I'm not really sure how it ties into the overall canon. Also, the gameplay's a little bit better than Halo 3, but Halo 3's gameplay was fine anyway. The only thing that's better about this is that the pistols, you can now zoom in like the original. You no longer have the Magnum, you have those nice zoom in pistols. The worst thing about it is the hub world, Mombasa streets. it's so confusing. You just have to find an item in each area, and then it takes you back to a flashback of when you play as that character. But it's kind of glitchy, and a lot of the times we had to restart the campaign because we'd save and exit, and then it would load us up at a different point. The game's really not that good, but the best thing about it is this was the one that added firefight mode, which is just like horde type mode for Halo, and it's a whole lot of fun. The firefight mode is really great, and it's the only kind of redeeming thing about this game. But this game is really cheap, and I just got it to add it to my Halo collection because now I only really need Halo 4, and then I've got a complete Halo collection, which is pretty cool because I quite like the Halo games. And next up, my brother gave me Dance Central on the Xbox 360. Dance Central is cool dancing game. One of the best Kinect games because, well, the Kinect hasn't done a whole lot, and when this game came out, it was actually really good. It showed off that the Kinect had some capabilities, and it could show off that the Kinect could have some fun games. So I've added Dance Central 3, and that's really good. This is also great. You know, it's made by Harmonix, the guys who did Rock Band, so you can really trust them to make a good game. But I don't play it a lot because my Kinect's not really set up. My room, it doesn't work in my room, and I have to take my Xbox downstairs and stuff, and it's a whole hassle to play Kinect games, so I couldn't capture footage for this. But this game's pretty fun. It's got a cool poppy soundtrack, you know, those songs that you don't like to admit that you like, but you kind of do. And it's fun to play this every once in a while. We do get it out every once in a while. It's a good game, it's fun. I'd probably play it a lot more if my Kinect was actually set up. I'd probably try and get really good at it, because I'm a big fan of music games. That's just what I'm like. I'd probably like to do that. But, I digress. It's not set up. I can't really play it. Next I got Forza Motorsport 2 Limited Edition. Now I really picked this up because it was cheap, and the Limited Edition isn't actually really good. It comes with this nice little book thing. It's not really like an art book, but it's like a history book. Like, you know, it shows off all the cars and stuff. It's got loads of text. It's massive. I'd really like a book like this with, you know, a game I'm really interested in. I'm not a huge Forza fan, but for any Forza fan, this book is really great, really nice. You know, it's got commentary from the guys who made the games and the guys behind the cars and stuff. It's got pictures of the cars. It's a really great book. So if you're a Forza fan, I definitely recommend this limited edition. I played the game a little bit, and I'm going like back from Forza 3 to Forza 2, so you know, it's not really that great to step back. Forza 3 is definitely an improvement. So yeah, I kind of just got this because it was cheap, and the limited edition is pretty cool. But yeah, it's not a bad game, but you know, it's outdated now by loads of great Forza games. So. Next up I picked up Doom 3 for the Xbox. This game was kind of mixed when it came out. I actually really like it. I played a little bit of the original Doom. I'm not a huge like Doom connoisseur, but I did play the original Doom and I thought it was really fun. So when I come back to this, you know, a lot of the reason that people didn't like it was because it was quite a turn from the Doom series. Nothing like the original Doom 1 and 2. But for what it is, it's a really great game. It's got really nice controls on the Xbox. An early first-person shooter. And it's pretty scary as well. Like the rooms are all dark and the monsters will jump out at you and stuff, and there's zombies and stuff. And it controls really well. Like you can go to computers and control it with the right stick. So it was emulated really well on the Xbox, moving away from the PC. Definitely a good game that I'd recommend checking out. I really like it. And this limited edition comes with it's called Steelcase, and it comes with the original Doom and the second Doom on the disc. So really cool edition, and Doom 3 is a good game. I didn't play a whole lot of it, but I'd like to check it out one day and play through the whole game because it was good, it was fun. I also got here Everybody's Golf on PS2, and last game was recently I should have bought the PSP version. This one I got for cheap, and it's definitely better than the PSP version. You unlock more like quicker. It's more rewarding, and the gameplay is really fun. I really love the gameplay in the Everybody's Golf games. It's always fun to just sit back one day and just chill out with a cool arcade type golf game. Tiger Woods games are alright as well. I like them as well, but definitely really prefer the Everybody's Golf games and the Mario Golf series. One thing I was confused about, I played this game. None of the characters, like on the front of the box, you can't play as them straight away. Like I wanted to play as this guy and just chill out with a 9-holer, but I couldn't because he wasn't unlocked, so I ended up playing as just someone stupid. But yeah, really cool games. I'd like to pick up the PS1 ones because they're actually my favourite. I played them as a child and really enjoyed them. Next up, a few Wii games. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. My sister got this when it originally came out, and my family had a whole lot of fun with these games. You know, they're fun. They've got like the realistic sort of games like the running, the track and field, and all that stuff, the skeet shooting and swimming and all that stuff, and that's all fun. But the best thing about this is the dream courses. They're a whole lot of fun because they play it like Mario Kart, and what you'd expect from a sports Mario game, all kind of cartoony and over the top. There's also like mission modes and stuff, and circuit modes and tournaments. So this game is quite fledged out. It wasn't just a cash-in game. And when they announced it, I was disappointed that Mario and Sonic are going to be in a game. It's going to be an excellent platformer game, and then it came out to be an Olympic game, and it's spawned an entire franchise in itself. But the games are fun. I don't mind them, and when I can pick them up cheap, I do because they're pretty good. I got here Battalion Wars 2 on the Wii. Never played the GameCube one, and only played a tiny bit of this one, only past the tutorial, so I didn't actually get to the point where you control like the tanks and stuff. But the on-foot stuff was really fun. The controls worked really well. I used the nunchucks to move your guy and the Wii remote to point and shoot stuff, and I really like the Wii for games like this, and it's cartoony and fun, and it's published by Nintendo. A fun game, Battalion Wars 2. Maybe I'll get around to playing and actually get to the meat of the gameplay. Big Brain Academy for the Wii. Me and my brother played this multiplayer, and it's so much fun multiplayer. You really get a workout on your brain when you're playing it, because there's some really hard games in there. We always play on hard mode. You got to play on hard mode, and it's so much fun. So much like the multiplayer, the frantic mode, where you're neck and neck, and you're just climbing, beating all these fun mini games. It's a really great game, and it's really cheap. Check this out if you've got like a brother or a friend to play with. And you may be surprised that I didn't own this game before, since I've owned a Wii for a long time, but that's Wii Sports. Now, I did have Wii Sports when I originally had a Wii, when it first came out. I still had my original Wii, but I ended up selling it to my sister and then buying it back at one point. So I ended up losing this game in the process, so I just bought this game again, and one of the best launch games, one of the best packing titles, like just to show off what the Wii can do, and it was a whole lot of fun. And some people have bought Wiis and they've not even gone past this game, they've just played Wii Sports, and to them it's worth like the £150 or whatever that a Wii cost. So it's a great casual game, and even us hardcore gamers can have a lot of fun with it. And lastly, a game that's completely opposite to Wii Sports, Wii Music, and I also bought this because it was cheap. Played it for a little bit. It doesn't really do anything. It's not much of a game. The best thing about this game is like the mini games. There's a Rock Band style mini game where you play the bells, and that's a whole lot of fun. But the actual gameplay itself, like it advertises, you can play all these different instruments. But no, there's really like 4 ways to play this, like the drumming style and the keyboard style, and it's all fake. Like you're not really doing anything. You're just swishing your hand around in the air, and what you can create is, it's kind of fun, the music you can create, but really it's not a whole. There's not really much to this, so I'm glad I got it cheap. But I do really like this box art, this nice slipcase. Slipcase here, and I really love the big musical note. The box art is the best thing about this game, really. Anyway, here's my rendition of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and see what you think of it. Next up, a few DS games. We've got New Super Mario Bros, and this is the essential DS game. Well, one of the essential DS games. It's one of the best DS games, and it's one of my favourite 2D Mario games. I really enjoyed this game. I got it at launch. I went up to the shops, went up to the game shop, paid £30 for it at launch, really happy, come home, completed it on the first day, and was like, oh right, it's done, it's over. And I was actually kind of disappointed that the game's so short. But I did, play through, get 100% of the star coins, get all the warp zones, because I know there's loads of secrets in this game. There's loads of secret exits and secret cannons, and even 2 secret worlds. And the game's a whole lot of fun. The gameplay is really great. Modern 2D Mario games, and again, this spawned its own franchise. By my favourite's the original, because it's a whole lot of fun. It doesn't have the co-op modes and everything, but still, it's great Mario goodness on the go DS. And my family played a lot of this. They played a lot of the mini games as well. The mini games were a lot of fun in this. They were from Super Mario 64 DS, but they're unlocked all straight away in this. There's no hassle to get the mini games. And my family loved the mini games. And the core gameplay itself is great. It's just Mario run, jump, and you get extra jump like triple jump. You can ground pound. All his new abilities are in this. The worlds are great. The music's not really good. But besides that, the graphics are good. Everything about this game is really good, and I'd check out any of the 4 new Super Mario Bros. Really, because they're all really similar. But I'd say this is my favourite one because it started it all. I got Mr. Driller Drill Spirits, and I'm a huge Mr. Driller fan, and this is the first Mr. Driller game I've owned, but I've played tons of Mr. Driller on other consoles, and you know, it's just the simplest gameplay. Just dig down, and from watching gameplay you'd think it's really simple, but it's not. Like there's ways to play. Like if a block is connected to the same coloured block and you drill that block, then both blocks will disappear, and each 100 meters you get, the stage changes, so you have to change your tactics. Because some of them will be easy, where all the blocks are of one colour or 2 colours, but some will have loads of colours. Anyway, the game's a whole lot of fun, and you know, it's just simple. Take you a few minutes to complete, but it's challenging. You can go for high scores and stuff, and I love the Mr. Driller games. I love Namco's little arcade games like Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Mr. Driller, all that good stuff. I really like Namco's games. And Mr. Driller is one of my favourite arcade style games. If you haven't checked out any Mr. Driller games, it's on tons of consoles. Play it, it's a lot of fun, and this one's cheap, so I'd recommend Drill Spirits, it's really good. Lastly, for DS, I picked up Brain Training, and the same goes for what I said in my last games I bought recently, where I showed off more Brain Training. You know, cheap game now, simple mini games, maths puzzles, other puzzles, concentration puzzles, puzzles that require the microphone to, you know, speak, and it's all fun, it's all great, it's worth a go, a lot of fun for, you know, casual gamers. Love this, and I really love this. I bought it for £30 when it came out, and absolutely thought it was worth the price. I really enjoyed this game. You know, you got daily puzzles and stuff, you got Sudoku, which, you know, I'm like an old man, so I love that. I really like the Brain Training games, and don't write them off because they're stupid casual games, because they're a little bit more than that. They're a whole lot of fun, and they're really cheap. I got this for like £1 or £1.50. Check them out, they're really good. Next up is a game I didn't think I'd get for a while. I don't own the console, I haven't been able to play it yet. The reason I bought it was, you know, for collector's purposes, but also because it was cheap, and I'm a huge fan of the franchise, and I knew eventually I'd have to get these games and check out, you know, just how horrible they are. And yes, it is Link: The Faces of Evil for CDI. My brother found a good eBay auction for it, and I managed to get it for a decent price. Now I'm going to have to get a CDI console so I can play it and see just how terrible it is. But for now, I can look at the terrible box art, I can look at the terrible images on the back, you know, this green guy's nipples, whatever the hell that is. You know, I can just laugh at this game for now, the box art and all the stuff on the back. It's just... If you don't know about these games, Nintendo licensed out Mario and Zelda franchise to Philips because they were in partnership, because Philips were making the SNES CD, which never eventually happened, but Philips owned the rights to the game, so they decided to churn out some crappy ones, and I'm really looking forward to checking out just how crap this game is. I can't show gameplay for this, but I'll put a link if you want to see gameplay and just how bad this game looks. Maybe I'm speaking too poorly of it, maybe it's a good game, I haven't played it, who knows. Now to the couple of new releases. First off is Pokemon X, and this really got me back into the Pokemon franchise. This is an absolutely excellent game. This is the best Pokemon game since Gold and Silver. When it comes to Pokemon, I now put them in like 2 categories. There's like Pokemon Red and Blue and everything up to Black and White. They're all the same thing. I mean, they're all different. I do enjoy each of them separately for their own, in their own rights, but they're all pretty much very similar, and none of them have even tried to, you know, branch away from the norm. Pokemon X is Game Freak have finally said, okay, well, 3DS is out, we can't just keep churning out DS games, we have to make a game for the 3D handheld, and they finally decided to make a 3D Pokemon game. Pokemon X is the first game in the series that is actually different. You know, from a long-running series, they've finally branched off from the norm, and it's done it really well. It's kind of like Pokemon Generations in a way, like you know, Sonic Generations. It went back to its roots and also created something new at the same time. And this is what this has done, because it's created a whole new style of gameplay. But it's still very similar. It's still kind of like grid-based in a 3D environment. But what this game has done is it's brought back everything. Like Pokemon X and Y were completely their own thing because they didn't bring about any Pokemon. This game has just said, right, we're going to chuck everything in. everything we can put in from the old games, all the Pokemon and everything, and all the references to the old games and everything, they've just chucked it all in. Like, you'll notice from what I really enjoyed was, you know, my first ever game was Pokemon Blue, and my first memory with that game is starting it up, choosing Squirtle, walking out into the grass and finding Pidgey. And the first thing I did in this game was start it up, chose Froakie, and the first Pokemon I ran into in the grass was Pidgey. And I thought, wow, that's really great. And even like the first forest in this game is like a throwback to Viridian Forest from the original game. It's definitely stuck to its roots, and I'm really glad that it did. And there were so many Pokemon to collect in this game. Like, I think the biggest one apart from this is Diamond and Pearl, which had about 250 or about 300 in the game alone. This game has up to 450 to like 500 that you can collect out of the now 700 Pokemon. And I had so much fun. I wouldn't leave an area until I caught every Pokemon in that area, because that's how I play Pokemon games. My main objective is to complete the Pokedex and get as many Pokemon as I can. So I had about 70 hours. I have 70 hours game time into this now. I had about 55 to 60 before I beat the Pokemon League, because I spent so much time just getting all Pokemon. I had about 25 hours game time before I even got the second batch. That's how much I enjoyed going around collecting all the Pokemon and experiencing the game in all its greatness, because it's got so many new things in this as well. Like, you can style your character now to how you look. It's not just one set character. You can choose your skin colour, you can choose your hair colour, you can completely customise your character. Another great thing about this game is all the online features. You can be constantly connected online, and people can just like pick your name from a list when you're online. They're called passers-by, and they can trade you, they can battle you, they can send you a O power, which gives you like short-term buffs like attack boosts and stuff. The online features of this game are so great. The only thing I don't like about the online thing is there's a friend safari which you have to go to in order to get more Pokemon that are outside of the original Pokedex, and you need friends. You need loads of friends on your friend list, which I didn't have. I don't even have a 3DS. I was using my brother's. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm not too hot. There's so much they've added. They've added like the Pokemon Army, which I don't really use, but I know a lot of people like. They've added Super Training. There's mini games and stuff. The new Pokemon they've added are really good as well. Like, better than Black and White. There's new Sylveon's a really good Pokemon. I love that they've added a new evolution. There's just so much you can say about this game, and I'm not going to do it because I don't want this video to go over 2 parts. But this is an absolutely excellent game. It may be the best Pokemon game. I'm really having trouble deciding between Gold and Silver, because this thing still doesn't. There's still a point where it stops and doesn't allow you to go anywhere else. Whereas Gold and Silver let you go back to Kanto. I wish they brought that feature back. I don't like that they got rid of it in the second game. But yeah, absolutely excellent Pokemon game. If you're going to get a Pokemon game now, get this. If you've never tried a Pokemon game, get this. If you've burnt out on Pokemon from all of the older generations, get this. It's an absolutely excellent game, and it may just be my game of the year. It's hard to decide between this and Rayman Legends. And nextly, well, kind of a new release. I got the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD limited edition for the Wii U. I'm glad this got a remake, because as a kid I never completed it, because, you know, when the going gets tough, you know, I bugger off. Yeah, Zelda Wind Waker is one of the best 3D Zelda games and one of the best adventure games you can play. A lot of people are complaining about the sailing sections, and they've kind of streamlined in this more, because you can get the faster sail, which does help a lot. I never minded the sailing sections, but I can, you know, appreciate the faster sail, because I couldn't find it at first. But I realised I'm going to have to find it, so I looked up where to find it and stuff. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to go from place to place. Although you get the warping song anyway, so it's not essential, but it's a nice addition. But even better than that is that they've streamlined the Triforce quest, and now you don't have to spend loads of money going to find the charts for the Triforce. They're just on your map straight away, which makes it a whole lot easier, and it makes the game a little shorter, but a little less tedious. But yeah, this game's really great. If you haven't played the original, the characters are really good. You know, it's one of the only times when we really get to walk around with like Zelda. Zelda's really like put into the storyline. Same with Skyward Sword, but this was the first one to do it. Like Ocarina of Time and stuff, you barely see her. So I did enjoy that about this game. This game, the box art, this is kind of a spoiler for the game, but you know Ganondorf's going to be in it and whatever. Yeah, I really enjoyed playing through this again. It's one of the best Zelda games, and I definitely would recommend getting the version if you haven't. don't pick up a Wii U for it, because I mean the HD upgrade, you know, it's okay. It looks really good. It definitely looks better, but I still think that the GameCube version looked really great anyway. The GameCube version aged really well, and there was no need for a HD remake, if I'm honest. But you know, I can still appreciate the new look of the art style. Not the new art, it's not entirely new art style, but it definitely has a, you know, nice shiny coat of paint added to it, and it looks really good. But if you've got a GameCube, you know, stick with the GameCube version. It really doesn't matter. They're both really good games. But anyway, you can check it out. Check out Zelda Wind Waker, because it's a very good game. Okay, so this last bunch of games are all games that I picked up from MCM Expo, which in the UK is basically London Comic Con. So I went there with quite a bit of money and spent, you know, quite a bit on a bunch of awesome games. I'm really happy about the stuff I got. Anyway, first off, I picked up a couple PS1 games. I got Ape Escape, which again is one of my favourite 3D platformers. I really enjoyed this game as a kid. Basically, the gameplay of this game is you run around. It's not just a normal 3D platformer. You have to collect apes, so it's like another collectathon, kind of like Banjo-Kazooie. But they're not just like stacked things that you've got to collect. They are actual, like, you run around with your net and your items, and you have to stun apes and then catch them. And it's so much fun. The satisfaction you get when you catch an ape on this game is, you know, beyond anything in any game. I absolutely love that feeling of catching an ape. And you know, it gets challenging at some points. Some of the apes are harder to find. You can go back in levels and find them all, because you can't find them all in your first run through, because you need some certain items to get some apes. A really great PS1 game. And I haven't checked out the sequels 2 or 3, but I really will get around to it sometime. But it's a shame that they've kind of dropped this. Hopefully we can see an Ape Escape remake on, not remake, but a sequel on the PS4. That would be absolutely excellent. And I also picked up another 3D platformer for the PS1, and that's Frogger. And this is my favourite version of Frogger. It's got the original stages in it, the original car stage, obviously, which, you know, everyone loves Frogger. Those stages are great. I'm not taking anything away from them. But then, once you've completed those stages, it then goes on to become this entire huge 3D platforming game. So it's basically an expanded version of the original Frogger, like same gameplay, although what they've done is they've created bigger levels and they've hidden frogs in different places now. But yeah, it's just like typical Frogger gameplay, but just much bigger and more expanded. An absolute great game, and if you like the original arcade Frogger, then you'll enjoy this. It's a really great game. Next, for the 360, I got Arcana Heart 3, which is an all-girl fighting game, and it's like a Street Fighter type fighting game. And it's really great. It's not really simple, but I mean it's a bit more simpler than Street Fighter, since you don't use all 4 buttons. One of them is to like dodge and stuff. And you also get these, I think they're called Arcanas. They're like spirits which help you out. And the characters are all really good in this game. Like, you get heavy girl characters. They're not like fat girls, but they've got like mechs and stuff. Yeah, and the gameplay is really fun. And when it comes to fighting games like this, I can really quickly get used to the basics and get around to how to play these games, and can get slightly good at them. But then I never master any of them. I always stop before I get to master them. But I play this with my brother, and we always play fighting games together, and they're a whole lot of fun. The back of the box art, I'll quote the back of the box art: "Swords and guns and ass-kicking nuns. This ain't no sweet fighter." So basically, there it pretty much tells you what you're getting in for. I'll do a small unboxing of this, because a limited edition for this game is really great. You get some really cool things in the box. Obviously, you get the game, but you also get this art book which shows you art of all the characters. And I really like the art style in this game. It's not as good as, say, King of Fighters 13. Like, it's still a sprite-based game, but the sprite work, I don't know, it's a little less defined as King of Fighters game, I'd say, but it still looks really good. And the art book looks really good too. And it also comes with an official soundtrack. Not only that, but you also get these cards that come with all the characters' fighting sets and all the button combinations for the characters. And this is something that I really like. I would like to see in a lot more fighting game collector's editions, specifically. Arcana Heart 3 is a great game, and I recommend it to any fighting game fans. It's really good. Next up, I got Dreamcast Collection for 360. I bought it from the same people for like £2. And you know, I already own this one 360, but you know, It weren't a big price to pay for 3 cool games and Sega Bass Fishing. So really cool, got that. Now these are my first 2 Sega Master System games, and my brother owns a Master System, so I can play these. The footage I got for these games wasn't very good because I can't capture them, so apologies for that. But I got Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now I own these for Mega Drive, and basically the Master System games, they're very dumbed down versions of the Mega Drive games. I know that at least Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has a different story. Tails, because of limitations, Tails can't like run along with you, so they decided to get him kidnapped instead. And the second game has different levels as well. The first level is nothing like the Emerald Hill Zone from the Mega Drive version. And you can't spin dash or anything, it's all limitations of the console. So if you're going to get Sonic the Hedgehog, these are ports of the Game Gear games, which again were just dumbed down versions of the Mega Drive games. So they're not as good as the Mega Drive games really. If you own the Mega Drive games, not much point in getting these, but cool collections. They are kind of unique in the fact that they're backports, and I enjoy seeing the worst versions of games like that. This was a game I was really happy to get because I've been wanting to get this for a while. It's Donkey Konga for the GameCube, and being a huge music rhythm game fan, I had these as a kid and loved the Donkey Konga games. It comes with this big old bongo controller. Basically, this game's really simple. Yellow notes are the left bongo, red notes are the right bongo. Purple notes are both, and white note is to clap, and that's pretty much it. And it's a whole lot of fun. You can't drop combo if you overhit or anything, so it's pretty friendly. The harder modes do get challenging, so I think there is a foul option in this game. So if you're not too good, then stick with the easier options. But the soundtrack's great. It's got some cool rock songs, it's got some cool game songs, it's got some cool pop songs. The gameplay's really fun as well. If you can find it cheap and you have a GameCube, I'd definitely recommend Donkey Konga. Really fun music rhythm game. And lastly, I got a staple game for the video game industry, and my very first. I don't own the console, so I was a bit skeptical on getting this, but it was cheap, and it's a landmark title, so I had to get it. It's for the NES, and it's Super Mario Bros. Now I've played Super Mario Bros. Tons before. The footage you're seeing is from the Virtual Console release, but I've completed this game before. Tons of times. I've played it so much, and what can I say about the original Super Mario Bros? It's a timeless game. When it came out, it was perfect. It set off the whole platformer genre. Like, there were tons of platformer games after Super Mario Bros. On the NES alone, and then onto loads more consoles. And it set up the foundation. It's just run and jump, and that's all it is. And that's all platforming games need to be really good. Not only that though, there's 8 worlds. It's such a big world. It gets really tough towards the end, but it's so satisfying when you finally beat it. I'm gonna have to pick up an NES now so I can actually play this on a cartridge and an NES controller. And that would be so much fun. I can't wait to do that. But I'm so happy to finally have picked up the original Super Mario Bros. One of my favourite franchises, and one of my favourite games from one of my favourite franchises, and one of the best games ever, and one of the biggest landmarks in gaming history. So thanks guys for watching. Maybe there won't be another Games I've obviously for a while because of Christmas and new consoles and stuff. But I'll try and get out as many videos as I can in other regards. One thing I want to mention quickly before I go is I also picked up the Happy Console Gamer the movie DVD. If you haven't heard of Happy Console Gamer, I definitely recommend you check it out. He's a great reviewer here on YouTube, and he's made his own movie, and the movie's basically an action comedy about the greatest game that was ever to be released on the Relic system. Very funny movie, really great, lots of humour, lots of special guests in it, and I really enjoyed it. The movie DVD I don't think is available anymore, but I'll put a link to the movie itself because it's free here on YouTube, so you can go and check that out if you want to check it out. But yeah, I'd like to say thank you to Happy Console Gamer for releasing this on DVD, because DVD has a lot of special features and Easter eggs and stuff, and I really enjoyed the outtakes and the making of and stuff, and I really appreciate the effort that you went into to create this physical copy of your film. Thanks a lot, and I really enjoyed it. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to check out Happy Console Gamer.